rumble of the Discourse. We've taken an abandoned concrete factory at the margins of the declining American empire and repurposed it into a battleground where 19 separate entities from across the political spectrum enter the discourse one by one and do battle to determine who controls the narrative force of the discourse. I hope you'll join me, your Southern Gothic Futurist host, dirtgod Raven Mack, for each and every episode of Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. The rules are simple. Two people begin entering the ring of our discourse, and another person enters every minute thereafter. At any point during the rumble, when a competitor is thrown over the top rope to the floor surrounding the ring, or submits to or gets pinned by an opponent in the rumble, they are eliminated. Once all 19 people have entered the fray, our Monday Night Rumble continues until all but one has been eliminated. That person is declared the winner of the discourse. Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse. As always, we begin with a recap of last week. You can see the Tech Lord coming out here early last week. We show you this because the Tech Lord is going to be our referee in there in the ring tonight. He will be enforcing law and order however he sees fit. Nira Tandon was out here last week, joined the discourse. You can see her coming out right here. Rogan podcast fan. He was an early entrant in the Rumble. He made it to the very end. You can see right here the Bernie Bro eliminated Nira Tandon at about that exact same point. We had 23 competitors last week. The Bernie Bro got tossed violently by Joe Rogan podcast fan who had a really strong week last week. In fact, you'll see right here, Super Blue Check comes out as soon as she's announced, brings this ladder in the ring and sets it up, goes across the ring after that Joe Rogan podcast fan who tosses her immediately. She did not even last a full minute. One of the quickest eliminations we've ever seen. A fan favorite here in the Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse is that Super Blue Check. So that was somewhat of a surprise. You can see later on in the night another first-time entrant in the discourse here at our abandoned concrete factory. Ben Shapiro, that little dude, he came out and he did fairly well. I understand he's going to be back out here tonight. Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin made his debut last week after his obstruction of the stimulus package early on, and Dr. Seuss, who we all thought was canceled, he came out. He was our final entrant last week. You can see right here, Mitch McConnell covers Joe Biden after Twitter communist suplexed him, and that eliminated President Biden. He had won the discourse 2 weeks ago and had hoped to be a two-time winner, did not get there. Our final three was Senator Mitch McConnell, Dr. Seuss, and that Joe Rogan podcast fan, and you can see right here that Dr. Seuss actually pins Mitch McConnell, and that leaves just Dr. Seuss and that Joe Rogan podcast fan. Now, the police state was our referee. Dr. Seuss suplexes Joe Rogan fan across the ladders, goes for a pin, has his man covered for at least 10 seconds. The police state you can see rolling around in the background finally gets over to make a count, and that Joe Rogan podcast fan kicks out at 1. And here in a second, Joe Rogan podcast fan picks up this briefcase, strikes Dr. Seuss, and knocks him out the ring to win the event last week. So Joe Rogan podcast fan won the discourse with, in no small part, with help from the police state. So we come back. This is our live in the arena here. Again, we're going to have 23 people. And our first entrant, Senator Ron Johnson. That senator from Wisconsin, he was back in the news this week. He made a statement this weekend or this past weekend that he would not have been afraid of that Capitol riot if those people had breached the House or Congress. He would only be afraid if Black Lives Matter was involved in that protest. So looks like we're going to have BLM coming out here to face Senator Ron Johnson and have him answer for those accusations that BLM is a bigger threat to stability here in America than that Capitol riot from January 6th. And BLM goes right after Ron Johnson. Again, you can see the Tech Lord is your referee in there this week. So no love lost here. BLM obviously not the biggest fan of Senator Ron Johnson, and Senator Ron Johnson made his feelings known about BLM movement this past weekend. We've not seen BLM out here the last couple weeks of the Discourse. Senator Ron Johnson has that pipe and nails BLM, but it doesn't seem to affect him. BLM is punching Ron Johnson in the face. Again, we're going to have 23 entrants in all, 23. Every minute another person comes out. Looks like we're about to get our next competitor. We've got a buzzer. And it's not an FBI agent. It's that Antifa member who says he's not an FBI agent. Not quite sure the difference between him and Antifa. He looks almost identical to Antifa. BLM's got a pin attempt on Ron Johnson here. And there's a kick out. Not an FBI agent getting in the mix. Another pin attempt on Ron Johnson. And he does not kick out of this one, folks. Senator Ron Johnson eliminated first here by BLM. Little comeuppance for the BLM movement to eliminate the senator from Wisconsin. But he gets a shot with that pipe on the way out, though. And we've got a buzzer coming out now. It's COVID-19. COVID-19. Yeah, let's not forget COVID-19 is still a reality, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as I mentioned, I've gotten my vaccine. I am vaccinated. I hope you can get on that list to get it as well. And BLM almost pinned by not an FBI agent. COVID-19 still a huge effect. We still have tons of people out here testing positive every day. Deaths have not really slowed down all that much. In some states, Texas notably, is opening back up somehow, pretending that this is not still an issue. COVID-19, DDT on BLM, and not an FBI agent flips COVID-19. And we've got a buzzer, and Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle's making her debut here in the Discourse, folks. Meghan Markle, of course, that interview last week with Oprah Winfrey with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle talking about the subtle and outright racism of the royal family. I'm not sure why anybody was surprised by that. Wouldn't normally have. And here's a couple covers going on. Kick out by not an FBI agent. And now Meghan Markle trying to pin COVID-19 and a kick out. I'm not sure why anybody would think the royal family wouldn't be racist. But Meghan Markle allows us to have a little bit of American discourse about the royal family because she is an American member of that royal family. And not an FBI agent pinning BLM kicked out at 2. We've got another buzzer, and here comes Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz coming in the ring, folks. Senator from Texas. And he goes right after BLM, not an FBI agent. Just power slam Meghan Markle on that ladder. COVID-19 pinning BLM, and that's a pin. BLM has been eliminated by COVID-19. Ted Cruz getting some shots on BLM after the fact and kicking at Meghan Markle as well. Cruz with a belly-to-back suplex on Meghan Markle. COVID-19 sort of mocking his competition in there. A couple of those meritocracy ladders in there. One gets taken down, and there's a pin on Meghan Markle. Not an FBI agent has eliminated Meghan Markle, ladies and gentlemen. Meghan Markle, member of the royal family, entered the Discourse, but she is eliminated quickly. AOC comes out. So we've now got AOC going after Senator Ted Cruz. Not an FBI agent still in there. COVID-19. BLM is in there, but he is eliminated. And AOC has got quite a chokehold on COVID-19. COVID-19 falls to the ground. Tech Lord is right there to see if COVID-19 gives it up, but he's not giving it up yet. And Cruz goes right after AOC when that breaks up. And we've got a buzzer here. AOC had recently, and speak of the devil, AOC had recently called for the resignation of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and here he comes. And he's wearing jeans. That's that classic middle management Friday afternoon trick to tell people that you're about to get fired, but I'm going to wear some jeans so you can think I'm a down-to-earth, relatable guy. Ted Cruz lays Cuomo over top those ladders. Cuomo's had a couple of scandals come out recently, and not only with some sexual harassment issues on his part, lying about COVID numbers in New York early on, where it was really hard hit. COVID-19 almost pinned by non-FBI. So Cuomo's had a number of scandals, and he's. Well, here comes Super Blue Check. She's back out. But Cuomo's had a couple of scandals, which is kind of ironic because I remember back at the end of the summer when you heard calls to have Cuomo actually be the Democratic candidate in sort of a rushed agenda to face Donald Trump. And a few months later, here we are trying to get him to resign. Not an FBI agent pinned by Ted Cruz there. So to reset the field, COVID-19 still out there. We got Senator Ted Cruz, AOC, that representative from New York, Governor Andrew Cuomo from New York, and Super Blue Check. And we get a buzzer, and we're going to get another person. That's the Twitter Communist. Twitter Communist is back in it, folks. There's a pin on Andrew Cuomo by Super Blue Check. He kicks out at 2. Twitter Communist sets another one of those meritocracy ladders in the ring. That makes 3 of them in the ring now. And he suplexes. Andrew Cuomo is just really beat up. Looks like Twitter Communist might have hurt his own back with that suplex, though. He's sort of crawling around lightly there. Super Blue Check with a devastating power bomb on AOC. Twitter Communist. That was Ted Cruz. I'm sorry. Ted Cruz got tossed on the other side. AOC was pinned by the Twitter Communists, and we had double elimination right there. And here comes Ben Shapiro again. That little munchkin of misinformation. He's back out here. He joins Twitter Communists, Super Blue Check, Andrew Cuomo, Governor of New York, still out here. COVID-19 still in the ring. COVID-19 breathing heavy. And Shapiro going for a pin on Super Blue Check. She kicks out at 2 3/4. And Super Blue Check going after Ben Shapiro. That's quite a matchup. Cuomo rolls up Super Blue Check going for a pin. She kicks out. And we're going to have another entrant. And it's Bernie Sanders. Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont. Again, folks, you can see all those briefcases. Bernie almost picked one up, but he left it. All these briefcases are full with lobbyist money. Cuomo just devastating suplex on Super Blue Check, but then she covers him for the pin. Our ref, the Tech Lord, is currently tied up watching COVID-19 twist Twitter Communist. Cuomo kicks out at 2, and Cuomo looks to be bloody, and Bernie covers Super Blue Check. She kicks out, but Cuomo has been busted open, folks. Senator Andrew Cuomo has been bloodied in there by the Discourse. Shapiro and Sanders going at it, and here comes President Biden, Joe Biden. So Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders both have won the Discourse here before, as has COVID-19. So we have 3 of our 3 one-time winners. Nobody has won the Discourse more than once. Biden again, not wearing shoes, likes to get down and dirty. Bernie with a twist and splash there on Twitter Communist. Cuomo is still bloody. Ben Shapiro goes to cover the Twitter Communist. Really slow count by the Tech Lord. And Bernie knocks Cuomo over, but he doesn't go down. He climbs back in. Looks like Bernie's been busted open in there. Cuomo's over that top rope again. And he falls, and he's eliminated just as Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out. So we can say goodbye to Andrew Cuomo in his debut here in the Discourse. And Marjorie Taylor Greene comes in and does a moonsault on Cuomo at ringside for some reason. He's already been eliminated, but she got that extra shot in. So we're left with Ben Shapiro, the Twitter Communist, Super Blue Check, who just got nailed with one of his briefcases by Marjorie Taylor Greene, and already bloody Bernie Sanders, who drops COVID-19 with a neck breaker. And we're about to get another person. Here comes that buzzer. Yep, and here we go. from the southern part of Facebookiana, the reply guy. Sees the world through those mirrored sunglasses that know it all, baby. And he's right on Super Blue Check. You know he's going after Super Blue Check. And there's a quick pin, COVID-19 pin there that was Joe Biden that pinned COVID-19, I believe. So COVID-19 has been eliminated, at least in terms of the discourse this week. President Biden, of course, late last week signed that stimulus package, and Bernie just kind of fell over the top rope himself and became eliminated. So Bernie Sanders is now gone. And here's that police drum music. That means the police state's coming out. So as I was saying, Joe Biden signed that stimulus package at the end of last week. Folks should be getting those stimulus payments. Not sure what it's stimulating. A lot of people I know are struggling right now, and I'm sorry if you're struggling. I hope you're holding it together. I hope spring can be something that makes things a little bit better for all of us. Reply guy and Twitter communist going at it. Police state on top of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She kicks out. Biden slams reply guy on the ladder. And police state sidewalk slam on Super Blue Check, but hurts himself, and Marjorie Taylor Greene pins him, eliminates the police state. And here comes the libertarian. Well, it looks like the libertarian's gotten caught up arguing about COVID-19 in the aisle there. That was the libertarian that came out. You can't see it. It's just off camera, folks, but he's out there arguing about the reality of COVID-19. So we've got people fighting in the ring here, waiting on the libertarian to make his way to the ring. Tech Lord goes in for a cover, and he counts two. The reply guy kicks out. The libertarian finally finishes arguing here at police state, gets him to move on, and here comes the libertarian making his way to the ring finally. Right as we get a buzzer for another competitor. And it's non-fungible token, NFT, non-fungible token. So I don't know if you've read about these folks. This is a new entity that somehow combines the entirely unnecessary overcomplications of cryptocurrency with the elite gatekeeping of the art world. So it's a sort of digital elitism, cryptocurrency value where people can sell digital art. Twitter comments busted open there, folks. So that NFT, he is in there doing damage. I guess that means that maybe, I'm the commentator here, folks, but I guess maybe somebody's selling this NFT's appearance in the discourse here tonight. Well, we got Antifa Black Bloc coming out with that sledgehammer, so Antifa is in there. And he just nails the Twitter comments. He's already bloody with that sledgehammer. Super Blue Check has the libertarian rolled up, but the Tech Lord didn't see it. That non-fungible token's now got that broom and just stalking around. That's a weird-looking dude. He gets kicked. Reply guy and Biden going at it there briefly, and it looks like, well, there's a kick out. Super Blue Check knocks Marjorie Taylor Greene over the top rope, so she is gone. Super Blue Check having a much better showing this week. Oh, and here we go. I bumped into this guy backstage, the critical thinking punk. This is an old punk rocker who is upset about cancel culture. Free speech is his main thing. Seems to blame Antifa for a lot of things. Blames the younger generation for just being overly sensitive, offended by everything. And apparently people being offended by things is the biggest threat to democracy in that critical thinking punk's mind. And he wants you to know he doesn't like Republicans or Democrats. Slow account for the reply going Twitter communist, and Biden has got a pin of the libertarian kick out at 2. And we got the buzzer, and here comes Verified Blue Check, that Atlantic Monthly New York Times op-ed contributor. Verified Blue Check out here to tell you, and he just gets knocked over. Well, I guess he didn't get in the ring all the way, but he was knocked over right away. I guess that didn't count. Really slow count again on the Twitter communist, and he kicks out at 2 7/8. Joe Biden going after that Verified Blue Check. We got a crowded field in here, folks. That NFT, non-fungible token, got pinned by the Twitter communist. So that piece of digital art that somehow has value is eliminated. And here comes that, Super Blue Check got pinned in there as Rogan Podcast Fan was coming out. So that Rogan Podcast Fan is back out here again. That NFT is sort of climbing up and down that rope in the corner. I'm not sure what's going on. Twitter communist covered by Shapiro. And Critical Thinking Punk got covered, and he is out. That Critical Thinking Punk did not last long. He got pinned in there by Antifa. I guess he's going to go back to those old punk albums and try to relive those glory days of free speech back when you could say whatever you wanted without being worried about people being offended. That verified blue check got tossed on the other side, so he is gone. And here comes the Bernie Bro. That is our last entrant tonight, is that Bernie Bro. So it looks like we've got, that Critical Thinking Punk is still in there, but he's actually eliminated. We got 8 folks in there, it looks like to me, folks. And there's a pin on the Twitter communist by Joe Biden and a slow count by the Tech Lord. Really seems to be giving that Twitter communist a slow count. So we got the Twitter communist. Well, let me see this pin here. Yeah, Reply Guy got pinned by Ben Shapiro. That's embarrassing. Ben Shapiro's about half the size of the Reply Guy, yet he took out the Reply Guy. That Joe Rogan fan going after that Twitter communist on the other side, and we got another slow count there, and couldn't even see who that was. So we still got the Twitter communist, Ben Shapiro, President Biden, Antifa, the Libertarian, the Bernie Bro, and that Joe Rogan podcast fan who won last week. So in fact, we got 3 people who have won before. Won one of these rumbles of the discourse, President Biden, Antifa, and that Joe Rogan podcast fan. Libertarian just nails Joe Rogan podcast fan. Bernie Bro goes for the pin, but he kicks out. Tech Lord sort of injured over on the side, and Antifa's actually fighting the Tech Lord. Joe Rogan just dropped Joe Biden on his face. The Joe Rogan fan there. Man, Libertarian, Twitter communist, Ben Shapiro all in there, and a Bernie Bro. That's a debate. Oh man, I cringe thinking about that. Shapiro doing well though for such a tiny guy. Antifa just going to work on Biden there behind the ladder. Tech Lord is there to see if anybody drops out. The Libertarian sets up one of those meritocracy ladders again. And we got a pin on the Twitter communist by Antifa. And that's a slow count, but it counts 3, and the Twitter communist is out. So the Twitter communist, beneficiary of a couple slow counts, finally gets counted out by the Tech Lord. He's attacking afterwards, a little upset. We hadn't seen the Libertarian here in a few weeks, so he's making his return back. And Biden just clotheslined Shapiro into one of those ladders. Rogan fan kicks out from Antifa at 2. Bernie Bro, moonsault, standing moonsault on Shapiro and goes for the pin. Shapiro somehow kicks out, and Antifa knocked over the top rope there by that Rogan fan, and he's gone. So Antifa has been eliminated. That Joe Rogan podcast fan has got a pretty good run here after winning last week, and Libertarian got a 2 count on President Biden. Right now, that Joe Rogan podcast fan working on Ben Shapiro. Pin on the Bernie Bro by Biden, and that's a 3 count to Bernie Bro, eliminated by President Biden. Shapiro on the Libertarian, only a 1 count. Bernie Bro gets a suplex on Biden, and the Libertarian returns the favor and gets a pin on Shapiro. So we are left with the Libertarian, President Biden, and Joe Rogan fan. They're all on the apron there. The Rogan fan and Biden go back in, and Libertarian's still out there, and Rogan fan knocks him off. So we're down to that Joe Rogan podcast fan and President Biden, and he's going for a pin on the president. 2 count and a kick out, and Biden kicks that Rogan fan. So Biden got that stimulus package out. It's only $1,400 instead of $2,000, but they did get it done. It is done now. Oh, he's thrown her in that ladder. That was vicious, folks. And he's busted open. I thought he might be after that. But he gets a belly-to-belly suplex on the Rogan fan, and here comes the count. And that's a 3 count. President Biden has won this thing. Bloodied and battered, but he wins this thing this week, folks. That stimulus package has made Biden the winner of the Discourse, I guess. He takes that Rogan fan out. So Joe Biden becomes the first 2-time winner of the Discourse. Once again, this is Monday Night Rumble of the Discourse, supported by my Southern Gothic Futurist Patreon. You can get it that at www.patreon.com/RavenMack. You can Google dirtgod Raven Mack. I am all over the internet, for better or worse. We do this every Monday night that we feel like it. We should be back next week, or we might not, or we might, or we don't know. But either way, that's the episode tonight, folks. Salam.